really want to start with, I watched the whole series. I really want to say congrats. You did a great job. The thing that I'm so curious about, and I've been wondering after I watched the series, because I learned so much about Hawaii, there's so much rich, great history in Hawaii. Why has it taken so long for a series like this to be made, showcasing its history?
It's a great question.
Yeah, look, man, I think it really comes down to there's so much beautiful world history, and it really, of course, not all of it's going to be seen. You kind of have to get it from the inside out. And, nobody was asking for it. Nobody's really been looking for it. Hawaii is a stop-off place for a lot of people. It's a feel-good place, and they love it. But yeah, I mean, history proves that we really don't know much about it. So for us to have an opportunity to share some of these stories that we've been told growing up, to showcase, the look of Hawaii, things that we have come to love. I mean, man, it was just a fertile location for good storytelling, and we were just fortunate to do it.
I'm excited for America to see it. The truth of it is, I mean, we're 50th state, and I think a lot of people don't understand what happened here. And so it's a big deep dive into that. And you got people from all over the world coming to get married, people from Japan and Germany, and they love and they celebrate and come, and then they take that special feeling home. Now they get to be in the comfort of their home, and they get to see what really happened here and like what we're made of. And so I think it will resonate with a lot of people. Yeah. And it's a human story. It's like we're not reinventing the wheel, but the texture, the fabric of what Hawaii's backdrop, it's something new that you haven't seen. Mm-hmm. But still, it's a very, when we were coming up with this, there's so many stories we wanted to tell. Like, how do we fit in to be able to tell this? Right. And, just kind of like, you kind of say it's like shoot it off kilter of like what Kamehameha's story is, because we're not telling it through his point of view. We're telling it through another man's point of view, so we can get a little bit more, because there's so many things going on here.
So one of the things is I really want to commend Apple for making this series, but also for I'm a huge fan of Apple TV. And I'm just curious what it was like for them in that initial meeting. You're pitching them. Did they ask you, like, do you have a 2-year plan, a 3-year plan? And how much was it sort of like, we trust you from C, we trust you from all your other stuff, we want to be in business with you?
I think that's the reason why we're able to make it. I needed to wait till my career was in that place where people would want to watch it to make it this size, and also have a great track record with them. Obviously, starting with them in 2018, doing C, like you said, we have really good trust. And so I pitched this series to Zach while we we're doing the first Dune. And we were just in the hotel room. He was with me, and I'm like, let's go for it. And it was something we've had for a long time, but we just weren't, we had to have the support, and it needed to be in the right timing. And we went and pitched it, and then we wrote it within the year, and then basically went into production. So I think it's just an amalgamation of all the right things kind of stacking up at the right time, because we wanted to have that control. I think if we would have done it earlier, it's one of those things you would have had to pass off to another producer who then would have control and change things. And if it's going to have our name on it, we really wanted to maintain and hold the integrity of our lineage and our heritage. And so it took a while, but I mean. Yeah.
No, but we were supported in that. I mean, I remember that initial conversation. Within 24 hours, we had a pitch deck and all that stuff. Brian Mendoza, our partner, would put the visuals together. He had the verbal pitch. I wrote everything out. Within 24 hours, we put that in. Within 3, we had, Francis Lawrence was stepping on board, and Peter Turnin, and like to see everything just start to develop so quickly proved that, these stories are universal and they work. But to have that cultural context just really pushes that nuance over. And yeah, man, we were very fortunate to be able to work with it.
Jason, you co-wrote every episode, but you directed the finale. Yeah. And look, the finale is, I'm just going to use the term, what's the right word? Immense. There's so much going on, and there's so much action. At what point of the shoot in the finale were you like, did I really want to direct this episode? Or you know what I mean? I'm joking around, but like, you're doing so much in it.
No, I love it. I'm actually better at doing that than acting. I love it so much. I mean, that's where I kind of belong, is behind. And it's just, I've been doing it for about 15 years now. We did Road Diploma in 2014, and it's just been constantly doing smaller things and trying to get things going, and doing movies, doing TV shows and commercials. And then it's just, I explained to our whole crew how I wanted to shoot it. You have to understand that whole fight scene is shot in reverse. We shot it at 3. Basically, we show up at 3 a.m. and we shoot till 4. Till about 3 in the afternoon. And so we shot French hours in reverse, so that when I'm standing off against Kiowa is our first shot. So we have a little bit of that violet with having the lava come up. That's morning. But I wanted to see it look like we were fighting in the day, and it's going into night. So to reverse that over an 8-day period, and you're not able to pull off that fight in 8 days, but if you shoot 4 units, 5 units, then you can pull it off. So with the help of like a really, really amazing crew, and because I have a very strong team and I've worked with my stunt team for, a decade now, we were able to shoot and use even my stunt double where I was shooting out something else and being able to use him. And so we choreographed 8 days to pull off that magic thing, but in the light. So it's not just, we shot it in the daytime or we shot it at night. No, we shot it in sequential order, but in reverse.
Yeah, I really don't think people understand like how big this fight is in the finale. I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
I'm curious for both of you. I'm fascinated by the editing process because it's where it all comes together. How did the series possibly change in the editing room in ways you didn't expect going in?
Oh man, the way we didn't expect. I mean, the truth is it was huge. It was a hard thing to do, right? Because we're not only introducing characters nobody's ever known before, we're trying to keep track of, all the cultural nuances. And I would say, that as the process was going on and as it comes to life, I mean, whatever just excited us, you know what I mean? I don't know if I found moments that was like, I wasn't expecting that. It was like, God, look how beautiful this is. Look at what we really captured.
Yeah, I love to edit as I go. So I'm already editing in my head. So I just kind of, I don't know. I just the way that I see and the way that I take pictures in my head, I edit and I know it takes exactly like my friends will freak out when I go like, I'll know exactly little ticks. And I'm like, no, go back to the third take. I know he does this little thing with his lip. And they'll be like, how did you see that? I'm like, cause I'm just blueprinting everything as I go. So I kind of like, it's weird, but I just take little photographs in my head where I'm just like cutting together as we go.
I'll ask you for both of you. What is something that you each fought for to include in the series that you are so happy that you did?
Well, I would assume that this is, I'm not
speaking universe for both of us. No, we can say it.
It's language. Language. It was such a big thing for us because, we do live in a time where, Hawaiian, there's no demographic as to whether or not that language is marketable. There's no understanding. There's no precedent if something like this can draw in crowds. So it was a conversation. Can we get away with not using Hawaiian? And the truth is, we knew if you remove language, you remove the reality. Because make no mistake, like this is based on actual history. These characters all have their own stories. They have their own lineages, and we know who they are. So it feels like a world building show, but it is absolutely based on something real. So to take language away, we take away the reality.
We also talk about the facts of like literacy for Native Americans or Native Hawaiians.
Yeah, well, so for us, like Hawaiians developed millions of pages of documents. They started their own printing presses, and we have so much information, and we just knew. I mean, our chiefs knew. Turn the people to education. Turn them to that, and so language became a big thing for us. And we had 97, almost 98% literacy rate after the king said, learn how to read and write. They would learn how to read and write in multiple languages, and so for us, the ability to share language is really a way to share who we are. And there's no way we could say we're presenting something authentic without it.
Yeah, so it's nice to be able to have the blend because obviously my character, if you're a chief of war, you're going to understand the culture. You're going to learn everything about it. You're going to learn how to speak like them so you can understand what they're doing. So I think there's a certain amount of characters that obviously switch over to be able to do the English. And then obviously there's ones that would never. ever do that. And that's when it comes down to the fight, which is something that I kind of went to him. So I was very scared because once you're playing a character, I know they're trying to cut you off, but is it okay? Can I finish it off?
Okay. Oh, yeah.
But there's one thing where it's like you play a character for so long, you're like, this is kind of what I would do. And I'm thinking like iana, but if I'm doing this battle rap, so because you generally have to have the kahunas, they do the blessings and the volcanoes went off, right? Then we get into this battle, right? One guy comes up and these two generals go off on each other and try to humiliate each other in front of their armies. And then they get into the fight. But I can't think of anything more humiliating than showing up to your enemy's backyard, speaking the language that actually that disgusts them. So I mean, I wanted to look to Kamehameha and say, and get the nod from my king, and then he lets me do it. And then the audience gets to hear me say the things that are just like, I get to just tell him, and he doesn't understand what I'm saying, which just makes him freak out, which I just want to tempt him to run at me because then I want to shoot him. So I want them to get close so we can cut all that off and eliminate the front line. So as a chief of war, I came up with this as Momoa, like going, because I was playing the character, going like, how can I get them, lure them in without calling them like dirty reef fish,
right.
Which is like probably a bad word back in the day.
It was so bad.
You call me a reef fish? So it's just like, that was something that came out of that where you're going, being able to say that in English and just pissing off Cliff and Kiowa would be something that I would do if I was.
I have to go. I'm just going to say I really love the first 2 episodes. And can you just say the name? I can't pronounce it. Olelo Hawaii?
Yeah, Olelo Hawaii.
Yeah, just that's the language you guys use.
Olelo Hawaii.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you both so much.
Did you only get to see 2 episodes?
No, I watched all 9.
Okay, cool. I was like, oh, shit. I thought
He's prepping 1 and 2.
I was like,
No, it's just like, it's cool that it's not in English.